If you are a tech worker trying to decide where to buy a home in Bay Area, there are three cities that come up in almost every transactions I have had with buyers. It is Fremont, San Jose, and Santa Clara. And here's what's interesting. All three are legitimate answers, but there are the right answer for completely different people. The Fremont buyer and the Santa Clara buyer can have the same income, the same budget, the same job, and still be totally wrong for each other's city. Because this decision isn't about the price. It is about your commute, your schools, and the kind of neighborhood you want to come home to. Your visa situation, how many days a week you're actually in the office, and honestly, who are you as a person? Hi, I'm Sana. I am a Bay Area realtor and I work across all these four counties. I moved here from India in 2017 and I have personally gone through this process of figuring out where in this region makes sense for a tech family. In this video, I am going to break down all three cities across 6 categories: commute, schools, neighborhood, culture, home types, price range, and outdoor life. One important note before we start. All the price data I'm sharing in this video is for single family homes only. By the end, you'll have a real answer, not just a list of pros and cons. And I'll finish with one question I ask every single client that cuts through all of it. So let's get into it. Quick geography before we dive in. Fremont is in the East Bay, Alameda County, between Oakland and Silicon Valley. San Jose is actual capital of the Silicon Valley. Enormous city, multiple distinct neighborhood, huge range of price points and personalities. And Santa Clara sits right in the heart of tech campus belt. Compact, dense, NVIDIA and Intel are headquartered here. One more thing before we compare. The Bay Area market has softened meaningfully from its 2023 peaks. Single-family home prices are down in both Santa Clara and Fremont prices even compared to 2025. What caused it? It is the three things working together. It is the interest rate that have stayed elevated, which is around 6.2% for a 30-year fix at the time of shooting this video. The second would be tech layoffs. They have played a role in this market softening. Over 200,000 tech jobs were eliminated across California between 2023 to mid-2025. And even buyers who kept their jobs are thinking more carefully about job security before committing to a large mortgage. And third category is the broader economic uncertainty has put some buyers on the sidelines. The market hasn't crashed. Homes in all these cities are still selling fast and above asking price. But prices have come off their highs, and for a serious buyer, that's actually a better entry environment than what 2024 was. 6 categories, 3 cities. Let's dive into it. We are starting with Fremont. For H-1B buyers, first-time immigrants, and East Bay tech workers, this is almost the first city on the list, and with good reason. Fremont is a city of about 230,000 people with a very distinct identity. Family first, deeply diverse, and practically connected to tech through BART and freeway access. The South Asian community here is one of the largest in the Bay Area. If you are looking for Indian grocery stores, temples, desi restaurants, neighborhoods whose parents also moved countries for a career, Fremont feels like home faster than almost anywhere else in the region. Talking about the commute, Fremont's position in East Bay is genuinely strategic. There are 2 BART stations in Fremont, which is Fremont and Warm Springs, South Fremont. It gives you direct rail access to both San Francisco and South Bay without touching the freeway. For South Bay driving, I-880 gets you to San Jose in 20-30 minutes off peak. Highway 237 is accessible via I-880 from Warm Springs area that opens up in Sunnyvale, Mountain View, and Palo Alto without going through San Jose. Dumbarton Bridge puts you at Meta in Menlo Park in 20 to 25 minutes on a good morning, though peak traffic can double that. If you work at Tesla, you're literally minutes from the factory. Now, the Fremont commutes get difficult if you're working in heart of Silicon Valley, Santa Clara, Cupertino, Mountain View. It is 40 to 60 minutes each way. Keep that number in mind as we compare different cities. My advice for any address you're seriously considering: open Google Maps, set arrive by feature to 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, and run your actual commute. Or use Waze, plan a drive to pull historic traffic data for your specific route. Not a Sunday afternoon test drive, the real Tuesday morning data. I'll call back to this test in the Santa Clara section where it matters the most. Okay, now the next category we will talk about within Fremont is the schools. And here is where it's nearly impossible to argue against. And for a lot of buyers, it ends the whole conversation. Mission San Jose High School is consistently ranked in the top 1% high schools nationally. SAT averages above 1360. Over 90% of applying seniors get into UC system. 10 plus students admitted into Harvard, MIT, and Stanford every year from one public high school. But here is the critical nuance. Mission San Jose serves Mission San Jose neighborhood specifically, the Golden Triangle around Mission Boulevard and Hopkins Avenue. In Fremont, your school assignment can change block by block. Verify before you offer. Not neighborhood, the address. Irvington High is the value play. Strong STEM magnet program, well-ranked academics, and homes run 400K to 700K less than equivalent Mission San Jose properties. We have talked about commute and school, let's talk about culture. Fremont vibe is suburban and community-oriented. This is not a city for nightlife or walkable weekend brunches. People here are for their children, their community, and their commute access. The South Asian community infrastructure here is remarkable. Indian restaurants across every regional cuisine. Bharat Bazaar, Iskon Temple, Hindu temples, Gurdwaras. It is one of the most cultural ecosystems for transplants from India in the entire country. What Fremont doesn't have yet is a compelling downtown. If you want walkability or social life that doesn't require getting in a car, Fremont will feel like it's missing something in 2026. That's an honest limitation. Fremont single family median sits around 1.7 million as of early 2026. But that number hides enormous variation by neighborhoods. Mission San Jose starts at around 2 million-ish and above. The school premium is structural and sticky. That buyer pool doesn't disappear in a correction, it just waits. For H-1B buyers with a 5 to 7 year hold, this is one of the most resilient demand structures in the Bay Area. Irvington and Centerville are around 1.5 million-ish for a solid single family home, the honest value play in Fremont. Okay, now let's move on to nature. One of Fremont's most underrated strengths, it is the nature. Lake Elizabeth, Central Park, giving you kayaking, jogging trails, and weekend picnic vibes year-round. Mission Peak is one of the most satisfying hikes in the entire Bay Area. The East Bay Regional Park System, Quarry Lakes, Sunol, Coyote Hills, puts Fremont among the best served cities in the region for outdoor access. Honest summary of Fremont: the city that rewards you for knowing exactly what you want. If Mission San Jose schools, BART access, a tight-knit South Asian community are your 3 non-negotiables, you're at the right spot. If you need lifestyle variety, a downtown, or a short commute to the heart of Silicon Valley, it will feel like something is missing. So the second city on our list is San Jose. San Jose is the city for people who refuse to compromise on options. Want charm? There's Willow Glen. Want space and nature? There is Almaden Valley. Want urban energy? There is downtown and Santana Row. Want elite schools at Cupertino discount? West San Jose, zip code 95121. San Jose has a neighborhood for almost each buyer type. What's the catch? And there's always a catch. The catch is that San Jose is enormous. It is the 10th largest city in the United States, close to 1 million people. So when I talk about San Jose in this video, I am going to be specific about which neighborhood, because San Jose answer is completely different depending upon which part you're in. And to clarify each of these neighborhoods, I have made 4 different videos in San Jose series. Go check out my San Jose playlist. Okay, from North San Jose or West San Jose, most Silicon Valley campuses are 15 to 35 minutes by car. The big commute story for 2025 and 2026 is the Caltrain's electrification. The line was upgraded in 2024, so it is faster, more frequent, and more reliable. From Diridon Station, you can reach Sunnyvale, Mountain View, Redwood City, Palo Alto, and San Francisco. For Peninsula Company employees, Caltrain from Diridon is now genuinely usable daily option in a way it wasn't 3 years ago. Highway 237 connects San Jose to Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, and Mountain View going west. From North or West San Jose, you are on 237 in minutes. The honest challenge, though, is that San Jose is primarily a driving city for its nicest neighborhoods. Willow Glen and Almaden Valley will put you 30 to 50 minutes from many Silicon Valley campuses on a congested morning. But here's where hybrid work fundamentally changes this analysis. If you're in office 2 or 3 days a week, which describes a significant portion of Bay Area tech workers right now, the commute burden drops from 50 to 60%. For hybrid workers, San Jose lifestyle advantages starts to significantly outweigh its commute friction. Now let's move to the education. San Jose schools are a tale of 2 cities, and this is the most important things for families to understand. The parts of San Jose that feed into Cupertino Union School District, primarily West San Jose, they have elementary schools ranked 18th in entire California. Math proficiency is at 84% versus the state average of 36%. Cupertino quality schooling at prices $400K to $600K lesser than Cupertino proper. This is the most undervalued school story in the Bay Area right now. I have made a 3-part series on detailing into how the school system works in Bay Area. Feel free to check out my in detail school series, which is specifically oriented towards Bay Area, in my Bay Area school playlist. Now let's talk about the culture and vibe of San Jose. Willow Glen is the most charming neighborhood in South Bay. Boutique coffee shops, wine bars, weekend farmers market, Victorian bungalows on tree-lined streets, small town feel within major city. Almaden Valley is the opposite. Tranquil, wooden, larger lots, and the Santa Cruz Mountains literally in your backyard. For families who want space, privacy, and nature without living a major city, it is exceptional. Downtown San Jose is actively transforming. Santana Row is already one of the best outdoor dining destinations in the South Bay. And there is an employer story developing here that most videos don't mention. San Jose has always been the heart of enterprise tech. Cisco, Adobe, PayPal, ServiceNow, all are headquartered here. But something more specific is happening in North San Jose right now. North San Jose is quietly becoming the AI hardware capital of Silicon Valley. Supermicro just announced its largest US facility in San Jose headquarters, a 714,000 square feet of campus extension. NVIDIA's supply chain, AI server manufacturers, and semiconductor equipment companies are clustering here. And this distinction matters by role. A software engineer can often work remotely from Almaden Valley or Willow Glen. A hardware engineer who needs to be near a lab, near a fab, near a physical infrastructure. North San Jose and downtown San Jose are not just practical entry points. They are increasingly the strategically correct location. The Google Diridon development will further reshape this corridor over the next decade. Now let's look at the home prices in San Jose. Almaden Valley is around $1.9 to $2.1 million median value. It has space, it has schools, and it has proximity to gorgeous mountains. Willow Glen is around $1.7 to $2 million. The charm premium is real and it holds. West San Jose is around $2 to $2.2 million. Given what you get in school quality, this remains arguably underpriced relative to Cupertino. Berryessa and Blossom Valley ranges from $1.3 to $1.5 million. More accessible entry points with above average schools. San Jose is significantly better for outdoor life than Santa Clara. Almaden Quicksilver County Park is 4,000 acres of trails literally in the backyard of Almaden Valley homes. Los Gatos Creek Trail, Coyote Creek Trail, and the Santa Cruz Mountains are all accessible. Here's my honest summary on San Jose, the city that rewards flexibility. Most neighborhoods widest price range, and best lifestyle options. And if you pick the right zip code, some of the best schools in California as well. The one reason buyers don't always land here, if you are a 5-day-week commuter to core Silicon Valley corridor, the most desirable San Jose neighborhoods add 30 to 50 minutes to your daily drive. That math eventually stops working, which is the entire argument for our third city, Santa Clara. Santa Clara is the city that wins on one specific and very powerful argument: proximity. If Fremont is the community city, San Jose is the lifestyle city, Santa Clara is the commute city. It is not trying to be the most charming or most diverse or the best for schools. It is trying to be the most strategically positioned. And on that single dimension, in 2026, it is winning. And the reason is NVIDIA. NVIDIA's headquartered in Santa Clara. That wealth flows directly into real estate market here when buyers can write all cash offers in the 1.5 to 2.5 million range routinely. It changes the entire competitive landscape of a city, right? NVIDIA's campus is in Santa Clara, so your commute is under 10 minutes from most of the city. Apple Park is 15 minutes, Intel is right there, Google in Mountain View is 20 minutes. The density of major tech employers within 20-minute radius is as high as anywhere in Silicon Valley. Santa Clara has Caltrain station on the electrified line, opening up Peninsula and communities north. VTL light rail runs through the city as well. Now remember the Tuesday morning test I mentioned in the Fremont section? This is where it matters the most. The 237 and 101 interchange during morning peak hours is one of the worst bottlenecks in the Silicon Valley. 20 minutes for 2 miles on a bad morning. On paper, Highway 237 looks like a smooth connector to a broader tech corridor. In practice, at 8:15 a.m. on a Tuesday, it tells a very different story. Test it before you commit to an address. Now, Santa Clara does not have a BART. The planned extension is still targeting 2030s. But here's a perspective worth considering if you're buying for a 7 to 10-year hold. A future downtown San Jose bus station is a long-term infrastructure investment that will change the value equation for this entire corridor. Buyers who are patient enough to wait for that connection are making a speculative growth bet that has real historic precedent. Neighborhoods near transit infrastructure consistently appreciate faster than surrounding areas. It won't help your commute today, but it may significantly help your resale value in a decade. For H-1B holders specifically, Santa Clara's proximity to NVIDIA, Intel, and Cisco is not just a commute advantage. It is a career resilience advantage. If you ever need to find a new employer, sponsor quickly within 60-day grace period, living 10 minutes from some of the largest H-1B sponsoring companies in the world is genuinely a safety net. Most real estate content never acknowledges this. I think it's worth saying this directly. Now let's move on to schools. This is where Santa Clara honestly falls short compared to both Fremont and better parts of San Jose. And I want to be precise about what that means, because the way most people frame it isn't quite right. Santa Clara Unified High School rates 6 to 8 on grade schools compared to 9 to 10 for Mission San Jose and Lynbrook. That gap is real, but what actually does it measure? Here's the nuance that matters. The educational quality in Santa Clara Unified, the teaching, the curriculum, the resources is genuinely good. Santa Clara Unified is a basic aid district, meaning property taxes from Google, Apple, Intel campuses and Levi Stadium fund it at approximately $22,700 per student, significantly above California's $12,000 average. The funding is strong. The teachers are well compensated. What the 6 or 7 rating mostly reflect is not the quality of teaching. It reflects the peer environment. The peer culture itself is a form of academic pressure and preparation. In Santa Clara Unified, that specific peer culture is less concentrated. That is a meaningful difference, but it is a different kind of difference than the school is bad. If your child thrives under competition and you want them surrounded by peers who are doing Russian School of Maths and applying to the same Ivy programs, some parts of Mission San Jose and West San Jose 95129 delivers that environment in a way Santa Clara Unified does not. If your child needs a slightly different relationship with academic pressure, the difference between a 7 and a 10 rating may not matter in a way the numbers suggest. Knowing what you're actually choosing between, it's not good school versus bad school. It is one peer culture versus another. Given the income profile of Santa Clara's buyers pool, private school is also a realistic option here in a way it isn't in most cities. Now let's understand a bit more about the culture. Santa Clara's population is heavily international, a large proportion of recent transplants close to their employers. Levi Stadium is a genuine asset for sports and event goers. What the city lacks is a neighborhood identity. No Willow Glen charm, no Fremont community or cohesion. The downtown around Franklin Street is modest. In 2026, you are buying Santa Clara primarily for location. The lifestyle infrastructure hasn't caught up to wealth yet. Single-family homes are mostly older, like around 1950s to 1980s, ranch style, 3 bedrooms on small lots. Many sits on 5,000 to 6,000 square feet. If a yard matters to you, look carefully before falling in love with the property. Price per square foot is among the highest in the Bay Area. Santa Clara single-family home prices have come off from their 2025 highs along the broader market softening. The single-family home median sits in the 1.8 to 2 million range in early 2026. Entry-level single-family homes start from around $1.5 to $1.7 million. Nicer properties in better pockets run from around $2.5 to $3 million. Homes are selling in about 9 days and approximately 106% of the list price. So it remains highly competitive even as the prices have adjusted from last year's peak. One more thing most buyers never find out until after they have moved in. Santa Clara has its own electrical utility, SVP, Silicon Valley Power, not PG&E. SVP rates are 20 to 30% lower than PG&E, which serves San Jose and Fremont. On a single-family home through a Bay Area summer, that's a meaningful number every month. It won't change your housing decision on its own, but when you're comparing two similar properties, it is worth knowing. Now let's move on to Santa Clara's weakest categories. It's the nature. Local parks are elastic natural areas, Central Park, Rivermark, but nothing approaching Fremont's lake and trail system or Almaden Valley's 4,000 acres. If outdoor life is central to your weekends, this can be a real compromise. Honest summary of Santa Clara is that the city wins if you optimize for proximity to the heart of Silicon Valley. NVIDIA, Intel, Apple under 20 minutes. SVP utility savings every month. H1B employer cluster density as a genuinely safety net. Long-term BART infrastructure upside for patient buyers. If you need school, lifestyle, outdoor access, or a neighborhood identity to feel at home, this city will feel like it's missing something important. Here's the question I always ask clients when they're stuck between these cities. When you imagine your Saturday morning, where are you? What are you doing? Who's around you? Because data doesn't answer that. The spreadsheet doesn't tell you if you're a kind of person who wants to walk to a coffee shop on Lincoln Avenue in Willow Glen, or take your kids to Mission San Jose parks and run into neighborhoods at Temple, or just bike to NVIDIA campus and spend the weekend at a gym, and not think about any of that other stuff. Your city isn't just a commute decision, it's a life decision. If you want to go deeper, the specific streets, the school boundary nuances, the off-market situations I know about in all three cities, book a call through the link in description. It is free, no commitment, just a real conversation about what makes sense for your specific situation. I have done individual neighborhood deep dives on Willow Glen, Almaden Valley, Mission San Jose, and West San Jose. The link to that playlist is here. If this was useful, hit the like button. It helps other relocating tech families find this content. Drop in the comments which city is currently winning for you. I read them all. And I'll see you in the next one.